All right, the champ is here. It is Britain Hart Beltran. I mean, gosh, you've been working towards this moment. I know what a special opportunity it was for you. You got it done in scintillating fashion. So, just how does it feel to be and new?
Oh, it feels so good. It honestly feels like a long time coming. So, I don't want to say I thought this moment would never come. It was just, when is it going to come?
That's awesome. Did you going in? Did you have a spot all picked out for it in the house? Maybe next to Joey's belt, or did you think that was bad luck to have that much planning go into it?
I absolutely thought it was bad luck. I was so paranoid and worried in my head. I know I don't show it all the time, but one of my best friends, training partners, and actually who you saw in the corner, Pink Tyson, um, she was the one who had the idea to have the shirts made, and the design was 100% hers. And she said, "We're gonna put and new on the back," and I was like, no, no, let's not do that because oh my god, I feel like the Super Bowl. All those shirts are made for either or their team, and then you gotta throw them all away for the loser. So I was like, this is such a bad idea. But she was like, no, like you're confident, you have to believe it with everything you had. And so I was like, you know what, you're right. So I had the shirts made, and I think that just put the extra pressure on me. That's why you saw me in the ring so focused. I never took my mind. Even in the third round, when with the real time scoring, I knew I was winning all 3 rounds. The only like paranoid thought I had in the corner was like, what if she lands a lucky shot? What if she has a comeback? And I knew that I could not give up for a second, that I have it in the bag. So I never had that thought from the time I entered the ring till the time I left it. I had to wait until they said, and new.
I love it. Listen, I know that your self belief and your confidence is unshakable, but at the same time, circumstances did get changed, right? I mean, you're facing a new opponent a week out, and I just got to think in a situation like that, a fight that means the world to you, to have that, we planned everything, we've got it all mapped out, and then it switches up. I guess just how difficult was that to deal with, and I mean, and how much consideration was there any of like, should we still fight? Did it change things? Talk to me about that whole situation.
Yeah, I mean, it's the importance of having a great team behind you, which I've really learned. And part of my journey is, I've had so many bad people behind me in the past. So now realizing what it really means, we all want to say, oh, we can do it ourselves and we don't need anybody. But it really is the wrong attitude to have. Because I was, even when Feldman called me and let me know, my answer like kind of shocked myself. I wasn't like, yes, absolutely. He was like, I know you're going to say yes. But in my head, I was like, I don't know. Am I going to say yes? Let me talk to my team. I have the uttermost trust in my team. I didn't make that decision. I talked to my team and they're like, yeah, bro, like, you're like, duh, like, you're definitely taking this. And I'm like thinking, this girl is, yeah, I think that was really the big thing is like, the focus on this camp was being a straw weight. Like, that's just what's drilled in my head over and over. And I think sometimes when I face these bigger opponents, I'm like, here we go again. And so I didn't take that lightly from her. I know who she was preparing for. And Paige Van Sant is no easy target. And she's definitely very big, muscular girl. And so I expected kind of the same from Charissa. So with that being said, me dropping down like my walk around weight now is 118. So, I just had to get I only had to worry about the 3 pounds coming off, which ended up being 6 pounds. So obviously everyone saw me weighing at 113. My team is still giving me shit for only wearing a sauna suit once, but you know, I did keep that in consideration, and I wanted to show her the utmost respect. I've seen her involvement in the sport as well, and I know how hard she wants. And for me, what I said to everybody, someone who doesn't have anything to lose is the most dangerous person. And I really looked at her with the most respect in that aspect because, all the weight was on my shoulders. She's going to get applauded no matter what for stepping up for that 3 days notice, for her fight being backed up and having this new shot. It was a win-win for her. And I felt like all the pressure was on me. And I've been here before. I am confident in myself, but I've been there before, like life valuable lessons where I think I am the best in the world. And I fell a little itty bitty short. And so with that, lesson in my mind is like anything can happen and it's not there until it's actually there. So I really you know, with the preparation and with the last minute change, it was something that definitely was not taken lightly. My coach yelled at me because the whole time we were there, I was still working out and doing stuff because I was like, I don't know about this. And I had to have that mental reassurance. And so my coach was like, you're not supposed to be working out, Britt. But, you know, it just shows how much I wanted it.
That's awesome. So in that span of time, I mean, can you game plan? Do you put something together, or is it more just like, let's just trust what we've done? I mean, how did the preparation process go?
Well, again, I had to tell myself to shut my own, you know, overactive brain off because I'm like, no, this changes everything. Like the whole game plan needs to change. And they're like, no, like relax, same game plan, same thing. And I'm like, I don't know, but you know, I just had to tell myself, you know what? They're going to see me in the first round and they're going to make the adjustments. And you guys saw that. The first round of me, you know, is my favorite in the best round, because you know, again, I like, and I know the fans like that dirty brawling action in, you know, but to you know, a true scientist of the game, to people who are, you know, true students and study, you know, I was smothering my shots, which is what my corner said loud and clear, like, you're smothering, stay at range. And from that change on, the next 4 rounds, I think, were just pure boxing at its finest. um, you know, I always say I would love to get a knockout. I really still need to do that, but I love boxing clinics too, and I love being smart. And really, the game plan ultimately was punch volume. If you overwork your opponent, there's no way they can win, no matter, you know, what the thing is. You just got to outwork them. And I feel like I did still stay true to that without the game plan. I just feel like I was a little bit more cautious about the punch volume, not to just be throwing, but to throw with a purpose.
And listen, it turned out to be a dominant performance. You get the title. And like I said, I know you believe in yourself, but I know you also always felt like there was a little something to prove to other people as well, maybe, you know, in that time. So I wonder now, getting the belt in the fashion that you did, dealing with the adversity of a changing opponent. I mean, do you feel like that message has now been sent loud and clear that there should be no doubting your legitimacy?
I think the responses to everybody, from this win and from the performance, are all great. I haven't seen anything too negative. And I know I shouldn't care, you know, hashtag Lions Not Sheep, you know, as a proud partner for BKFC. And so I really try to take that mentality. But I wouldn't be me, and it wouldn't mean so much if I didn't have my own flair. And my thing is like, unless one person cares a whole awful lot, nothing will change. And I think a lot of people take the back seat to, oh, just let them talk. They're just, you know, they don't know any better. They're ignorant. And to me, I'm like, but what if we could change that? Like, what if we could change how they view and see fighters and really like educate them on what they're critiquing? And I really, you know, I still really try to push that. I've definitely, now that I'm champ, I feel more relaxed and be like, look, I'll try to explain it, but I'm not going to get my panties up in a bunch over it. But you know, I told my coach just today, I'm like, you know, it wouldn't be me if I didn't see a couple comments that were like, oh, Britain dodged the bullet with Fanny Palumpi. And I'm like, whoa, I didn't dodge no bullets. Like, to me, this opponent that I had was harder than Fanny. So, you know, I don't know what they're talking about, but it's still that sense of the fighter. It's still the sense of the extremely competitive person. You know, and I had to say something to Charisa too, because I actually really like her. She's really, really grown on me in the sport, and just she's somebody. Even my uncle, you know, I went to go pick up my dogs from, and he was like, you know, if you weren't fighting, I would really cheer for the other girl. And I'm like, thanks, Unc. But he's like, she's just so sweet, and she's smiling, she's blood dripping down, and you should smile more, Britt. And I'm like, I watched back the fight and I'm like, man, he's right. I didn't smile. Like, shit, I'm inspired by this girl, like, to, like, no matter what, freaking smile, because it shows that we love the life that we're in and that we make the best of it. And so, you know, yeah, I think growing from this, you know, I definitely want to improve on some things. I definitely, you know, I saying about her, you know, it was nice to have somebody worthy of that spot in there. And you know, and just kind of reminds me on how much I love this lifestyle, and I'm thankful for it, the challenges and all.
I love it. And did I see on your social media correct that you won the belt this past weekend and you've already gone and done a was that a school visit that you've done?
Yep, I know. And I told you when everyone asked me why I want to win this belt, what did I say? I say I want to win it so I can bring it to kids and show them anything is possible. And not only did you see me win, I went over to a girl who is a true fighter who beat childhood cancer. Her name's Peyton. And I walked over her right off the bat. I knew where she was sitting in my head. I went over there, and then the day after, gosh, we didn't get to Miami until 3 in the morning. I was exhausted. But somebody said, hey, could he stop by a school? And, there was no, well, let me take a break or I'm too busy. It was like, this is my purpose. And I went in there and I talked to a couple of the kids in there, specifically about just like personally growing up and knowing how important it is to be great at everything because, even school, like, you can say you want to be the best boxer and fighter, which really has nothing to do with school. But if you can't apply yourself in school, how are you going to apply yourself in something as difficult as being punched in the face? So if you can prove and practice your greatness and excellence in something as silly as spelling or math or science, you should be able to do anything, whether it's being an astronaut, being a professional boxer, football player, whatever it is. And so I took that as exactly like, this is the universe's plan, this is God's plan. And it showed to be correct, like exactly what it was. And it just makes my heart so full. It really does.
That's pretty damn incredible that soon after a fight to go do that. That is definitely commendable. So let's talk about what comes next, right? I mean, you don't leave a bare knuckle fight without a little bit of damage, even in a dominant performance like that. So I'm sure there's some nicks, some bangs, and some rest that you want. But what's the plan? Because I mean, this is a division that is kind of being built, right? I mean, you're going to be at the head of it right now, but I mean, there are some names in the division already. It looks like more talent is being signed. So I guess what's the plan for you? Is it time off? Are you already looking towards another fight? What's the move?
So I definitely spent 2 hours in the gym this morning. So shout out to KO Zone, and also why I look so like rough and rugged right now. But I am kind of chilling. But I did go to KO Zone this morning and did some things, did some shadow boxing and some ab work. And then really, I'm like, I really need to work on these legs. So I'm gonna be like squatting like crazy. So that's my new agenda, which I don't need my hands for right now. So always something we can work on. My favorite quote is by Roy Jones Jr. And he's like, if my left hand's broke, I always have my right. And so I always take that mentality. My husband Joey Beltran is working very hard. I know there might be something big, and it might be his time to shine next. So again, I said great day in the office. It doesn't quit. We don't have a great day at work and then say, I need a vacation because, I did the inventory checklist today. So that's really how I look at my life, is that this is a job and it's a full-time job. And I don't have PTO. And if I do have PTO, I'm really saving it for when I really need it. But yeah, I think that the world is full of endless opportunities and options. Again, I am super competitive. I am hurt by this little comment of dodging a bullet. So to me, I'm like, well, I prepared 5 weeks and 4 days for Fanny, and I respect her and think she's a great athlete. So it's only I only say this out of the utmost respect, is that I would really like to challenge myself and still have that, because I know we put mental space into it. That's always a fight out there. There's other fights. I'm sure people will be saying my name, and I welcome it because I love hearing my name. So what do they say? No publicity is bad publicity. So, or bad publicity, whatever. You know what I'm trying to
That's
say.
right.
But
It's all good if they're saying your name. That's all that matters. Well, listen, that's the unfortunate part about combat sports is as soon as you win, we're like, hey, what's next? What's next? In the meantime, I know you're in the gym. I know you're doing business, but you should take a little bit of time to soak it in and enjoy what you've done. This is a big accomplishment that you've been working towards for quite a long time.
absolutely. Really, on if I had it my way, I would love to take 6 months. I would love to take the belt to schools. I would love to travel and reach, the people that really need it. I would love to train and coach some other people. I really, everyone asks me for merch, and I'm like, I haven't had time now. I don't have website. You know, I definitely don't have any type of personal link you can click. So I'm just, you know, I really would love the time to focus on the business side of my brand and legacy. But again, I've learned from experience. I've told people countless amount of times I need a break, and it never happens. So, but yeah, no, ideally you're right. And honestly, I will say this, John, it is a fear of mine. I know people comment on it all the time. They're like, wow, didn't that girl just fight? I've seen amazing, very high talented elite athletes that fight back to back, and they lose fights that they were totally supposed to win. But the whole reasoning behind it is just going to back and not giving your body time to rest. So I do agree in here, and BKFC, if they allow that, or my life allows that, that would be wonderful. But if not, the game plan is to always stay ready.
I'm just going to say it now. There's no way in hell you take off 6 months. Hopefully it's a couple months, but there's no way in hell you take off 6 months.
I know. Someone else told me that number too. They're like, you're the champ now. You fight every 6 months. And I'm like, oh, okay.
I don't see it happening, but we'll see how the schedule plays out. Regardless, you're the champ now, and that's what matters the most. Congrats. It's been a fun journey, and we look forward to seeing what does come next whenever it comes next. Even if it's Joey, we might see Joey back in there as well. So exciting things for the Beltran family, and I appreciate the time. Now go enjoy yourself for a little bit.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.